Hi guys, Justine Leslie here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am an intuitive and I do intuitive readings. So please subscribe to my channel to get some weekly readings for the collective consciousness. And then also I help sensitive awakened souls navigate this crazy world that we're living in. That is the best way I can kind of describe what's going on here. All right, I'm just going to jump right into it. Today, I wanted to do a video on the angel numbers. I'm doing a series of what the different angel numbers mean. Today, I want to touch on 1010, otherwise known as 1010, and my interpretation of what the angels are trying to communicate when you see these numbers. Before I jump into it, I just want to give a couple of tips. A lot of times people come to me and they say, Justine, what does this particular angel number mean? Again, this is my interpretation and this is how I'm intuiting it as an intuitive, and this is how I'm interpreting it. So again, you are really the driver's seat, in the driver's seat. And so that means that if this particular definition feels good to you, then it most likely means that. The other thing too is, speaking of feelings, I often get this question as well. How do I know if it's a sign? Not necessarily what exactly they're trying to tell you, but more about like, is this an actual sign? I always say it's a sign if you believe it's a sign. So if it feels good and you get like a certain, your soul flutters, it's very obvious especially if you're very intuitive or empathic, but it's not a coincidence. If your logical mind is trying to rationalize a coincidence, first of all, they don't exist, and second of all, your feelings and your intuition know better, right? So it's more than likely a sign from the angels trying to communicate to you a specific message. So here we go. This is what I believe 1010 is, or 1010. So I actually have only two for this. Sometimes I have 3 or 4 reasons why this is coming up, but I actually only have 2 for this number, and it's a little bit of a uncommon number. A lot of the times we see 333, 444. I did series on 66, 77, 55 is also common. 1111 is obviously very common, but 1010 is not super common. So here we go. So first off, the meaning of what it could mean is that you're in direct opposition with the material world, and this could be a situation where you are resisting, it could be money, or you're resisting the material world. So let me tell you guys something about money. God, universe, divine, however you want to explain it, does not want us to be poor. They want us to be abundant, and they want us to be prosperous. So that means that we're not meant to struggle with money. We're not meant to hold on to money like a very lack mindset, where it's supposed to be a flow, just like anything. Money is energy, just like everything else is energy. So basically what's happening here is that if you are someone that tends to hoard their money, or believe money is in lack, or really see it as a negative thing, this number will come up. And money isn't negative, and I know it is associated with greed, and it's associated with shame, and it's associated with people, evil billionaires, or something like that. Guys, money is not doing that, it's them, right? So we have to put money in the hands of pretty empathic people, or people that are going to do quote unquote, right? I never like to use the word good or bad, but good people, right? Or positive people, where we're going to push it forward and have it still in flow, and put it in the right places and that kind of thing. So it's actually not money, it's the people, right? It is the ego, really. It's not money. So basically what's happening here, my hair is getting in the way. Okay, that's better. What's happening here is that there's a resistance happening. That's why the 1010 is coming up. So there's a resistance to money or a material thing of some kind. So if you think it's very spiritual to live in a hut and, not buy a Michael Kors bag or something along those lines, that's totally fine. But if you really want those things, it's fine if you don't want those things, but if you really want those things, it's okay to have those things. It doesn't make you any less spiritual. I heard somebody the other day talking about, how certain things are not spiritual. What does that even mean? I can't even go into it because I don't know what it means. Spirituality is our own experiences, our beliefs, created by our own experiences, right? So it's very unique to a lot of different people. A lot of people say, including myself, if I had to define it, it's about the unlearning, right? It's about unlearning what we thought to be true, right? It's more about what we feel to be true. That's what spirituality is. But anyway, it's everybody's particular definition of it is very, very different. So basically, there is a resistance. So this means that more often than not, you want these material things, but there's either feelings of shame or guilt or something coming up where you're feeling like it's not proper to do it, or you have a negative connotation towards material things, but you actually deep down on a subconscious level want it. But again, there's a lot of resistance coming up with it. So, and really because 1 is connected to more of the material, like the human world, and then 0 is a very spiritual number. So when you see them together, that's how it, it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? 1 0 1 0. So that's usually what it means. So what I can definitely say is that the angels are like, you gotta let go. Material is okay. You're in the human world after all, but don't, like, as long as you don't make it the showrunner, right? It's, as long as you know that there's a detachment to it, that's totally fine. And if you're pretty spiritual and connected to yourself, to your higher self, this shouldn't be an issue. You know that material things are not going to bring you happiness, but you still want them. And that's okay. We want what we want. We're, again, in a human world, okay? And we're allowed to have nice cars and spend $300 to get our hair done and all of that stuff. So go for it. It's the resistance is creating more energy than it is to actually go ahead and do the material thing. So go ahead and do it. Let all of that, those negative emotions go. Okay, so I actually already, so the second one, I already kind of touched on it a little bit when I said 1 is connected to the human world, and the 0 is connected to our souls and our higher self. So it's, you're in direct opposition this time with your higher self and your ego. So you're trying, like, if you see this number, you're probably in a place where you're trying to fit into this world that makes sense for both your personality and your higher self. So I often say your personality is not exactly your soul, but it's supposed to be an amplification, basically magnified of your soul. But that's not always true, right? Because it's a little bit of a mix. It's a little bit of a mix of your ego in there. So basically, when you see 1 0 1 0, it's your ego and your higher self trying to find an even balance of how to show up in this world. And basically, both of these definitions of theories, I guess, as to meanings, as to why you're seeing them. They're both pointing to a period in your life where you are trying to be more seen, but you're not sure how you should show up. If that makes sense, how you should show up in the world. So higher self, ego, material stuff, not so material stuff, whatever the opposite of that is, right? So basically there's like an internal conflict no matter how we're looking at it, either way. But it's really pointing to, this is a time for you to start showing up in your life and being the person in the spotlight and being seen and realizing, how you want to be seen. So that is definitely why 1010 is coming up. Hopefully that was helpful, guys, and hopefully that explanation was helpful. But okay, guys, I'm going to head out. I think that was it. One last thing that I should probably add is that our angels are always communicating with us, not necessarily just with numbers. So definitely it's important for you guys to listen. Feathers is another popular way, as well as coins and things like that. Synchronicities is always something to look out for, which means when you're in flow, so things start to connect a little bit. You hear something on TV and then you're also typing out the word at the same time or something like that. That's a synchronicity. Could be like 1,000 different examples, right? So listen to those as well, because our guides, our angels, and the universe are always trying to communicate with us and give us the guidance that we need, right? So hopefully this angel number guidance of 1010 was helpful, and I will hopefully be putting out more videos like this in the future, so please subscribe. If this resonates with you or doesn't resonate with you, I'm totally fine with both things. Just put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective, and I will see you guys on the next video. Okay.